turns out to be a major innovative force behind this evolution of the technology. So lastly, I want to bring up a very interesting case that's represented by Huang. FRESCO, very interesting. Roy co-founded FRESCO. It's an arts digital assets network based on blockchain, very innovative. And Roy comes from a collection family and with a very solid investment and art and technology background. So it's a very rare, unique combination that you'll see from FRESCO. And by the way, FRESCO is running on, or going to be running on Elastos. Yes. Right. So I'm very happy to have Roy on the panel today. Actually, when you describe your business model and idea, don't forget to mention why you guys choose Elastos.
Yeah, definitely. And first, thank TCSA and thank Elastos, and very an honor to be here. And I think to explain a little bit about FRESCO, we're one of the very earliest blockchain art asset network seeking to solve promotion, provenance, and liquidation of artwork. Well, you might think, if you heard about art before, you might think it's a very gated community, like how the heck do you guys get in? But I think one thing you're gonna know is really take into context of artwork today. Well, to take into this context, you need to know yesterday, there's a huge auction going on called the Rockefeller auction at Christie's. The whole estimate was for $500 million of everything gets sold, a total 1,000 things, but they exceeded that estimate all the way up to $680 million, where they're not only selling the 100 million Picasso or $80 million Monet, actually they're selling $200 lithograph and $300 designer chairs. And that's done by the largest auction house, Christie's. So, and you can see right now, like the artboard actually take a lot of inspiration from the decentralization. I think decentralization, one thing you're gonna know, is not a new thing. In the finance world, you have, especially in your area, you have Robinhood, which already done the zero-fee trading and becomes hugely popular among university kids. And you have Venmo that does the transaction that among the university kids is highly popular. They all serve the core of decentralization. That is, you offer more people access to something. And I think for us, we take inspiration from the art world, where right now there's only a group of people who's only buying a 50 million Jeff Koons or 20 million Picasso. It's a short number of lists. If you go to art fairs, like in Switzerland, Basel, or go to Frieze, New York, if you're at VIP, you see the same crowd each year, like no matter where you go to. Because right now, that's a bottleneck in the art world. The collecting a physical artwork, the logistics, it's just too high, and there's only so few number of people doing that. And the art world realized that. Christie's galleries, so they invented a new thing back in the 1970s. That's called prints and multiples, for which if Picasso only have a certain number of oil painting available, but Picasso will commission a studio, literally a printmaker, that work with Picasso to print out one work for 500 edition or 50 edition. And then Picasso sometimes sign the work, or sometimes even not sign the work, but issue them as a Picasso estate. And right now those pieces are auctioned off at legit galleries, being sold at auction houses, being sold at galleries, and price range varies from 500 pounds all the way up to 150,000. And that's depends on how much the edition number. And that's been happening in the art world. You can see the art world is already taking this decentralized approach. It wants more people to come in and collect, because that's the only way to grow a market. Like, you don't rely on everybody to buy a $4 million painting each week. The negotiating process for a $4 million painting is going to be a lot longer. Then you're asking people to buy a $10,000 or $5,000 Picasso lithograph. That's a way faster, way smoother transaction. And that's been seen a lot in the art world, and also as well, a good analogy would be in the fashion world, where you can see from guys like Louis Vuitton or Gucci, they start out making a very high quality luggage bags, and then moving to the handbag. Until today, you got all the kind of $200 key rings hanging around. So this is the same thing. It's called a brand carryover. And That's same thing for artists. The guys, when you view an artist, it's not simply the artistic value. Each year, talented artists graduating from RISD, from Parsons, all like 3 of them each year can get signed to a gallery and then being molded into the star artists, where a lot of them gonna go wait tables in New York or any other area in town because they just don't have the promotional channel available to them. This model works very good. The gallery and auction house model where you build an artist, this works especially good back when? Back in the Renaissance, back in the 1700s, where if you're rich, you're our patron. But today it's a different game. With so many people having assets popping up globally, we're still facing this dilemma that people only know to invest in real estate, only know to invest in stock for their asset triple. But you're gonna see the bigger picture here, and just go see who's buying the art. And you will know that actually the ultimate form of asset investment is art. And the beauty of art, because I come from a collection family, first-hand account, Arouchet painting back in 1993, if you get from a gallery, cost $7,000, a big oil on canvas with 5 words on it. Sometimes just 5 random words printed out in Helvetica New, the font. But today, an Arouchet auction out for $26 million, and still goes up. And you don't challenge an artwork's price. Just like Amazon stock, it might fluctuate, but the artwork's price, because of all the entities behind it, because all the industrial complex behind it, the only thing goes up. But right now, the artwork is trying to open with print mobile. We just take it to the next step, working with Elastos, because Elastos is a great feature of issuing digital assets on blockchain. And for us, we're pushing the envelope, just like how print and mobile pushes the envelope of the artwork. We're saying that if you own the data that come from the artist's estate, or come from a gallery or museum, that essentially, if that data can be limited version and can seek back to its original provenance, what do you make of that? That's what people make of Picasso printed paper. That's called an artwork. So this is why we work with Elastos. When we had a meeting with Dr. Han at the Boston conference, and we talked about the idea, we realized this is going to be the next step, because at very first, we're focusing on the value addition part of the artwork. We're focusing on how to promote artwork. And then we realized, in order to better promote artwork, it's just like how art is being promoted today. You need to reach a wider audience. And to reach a wider audience, you need to shatter the limits of logistic and time. Today, you buy a Picasso lithograph artwork from London, from Christie's. It takes you 2 months to ship to New York, and minus the 30% taxes, also with the shipping fee. So a lot of things can be done here to change the game. I think our market today is only 70 billion, even compared with the cryptocurrency, which is at early days. And our market is being around for like hundreds of years, 70 billion. Think about the number, and think about the game we're doing. Like, think about the game we won't change. Because guys, art, just like, I think one thing that's getting hugely ignored, like totally, that's one of the main reasons which we do what we do. Because when I started out, I come from a finance background. The first thing, and also with the art collection, the first thing when I started getting in blockchain is to ask my family's lawyer, what's the best approach for this? At very first, because I started out last year during July, our initial approach was always ICO, because I know, wow, this Indian guy from God knows nowhere raised 70 million in 2 days. That's impressive. Where I need to go talk with guys at VC, get a term sheet, and the whole back and forth take 2 months. Well, there's going to be a better way for that. And then gradually, as I move on till this December, I realized one thing. That's exactly like Stephen said. That is, retail investors' rights are not solely protected. Like, we can handle, even today, at today's market, you cannot ignore, even good cryptocurrencies are, because of market volatility, are not showing their true value. Well, for us, everybody here, we can handle your $4,000 asset turning into 500, and people still saying it's a future to believe in. But what about a soccer mom from New Jersey who need to feed 3 of her children? What about someone from Ukraine who invests in a project as a community supporter, but then realize after 2 months, they're not getting what they deserve? Like, who do they go for? They go for government. And who do government go for? The government go for you, the blockchain companies. So we decided to change the model. If ICO is solely for the purpose of fundraising, well, we do not need fundraising if it's a good project, if we can directly reach out to VC. So that's exactly what we did. And for our ICO, we completely abandoned that. We done the world's first ICD, which is called initial coin distribution. You might think it's just a regular airdrop, but let me tell you something. We distributed all the 300 million tokens for free to community globally, but in order to get the token, it's a reward system that based on the POW of not the computational power of a machine, but the computational power of your brain, especially our knowledge. So to get the token, you need to do a 100-question art test. Our research team come up with that takes average 1 to 2 hours to finish a test. When I first did this, I talked with Dr. Han, Dr. Chen from Elastos. They thought it was crazy. They said, no one in the crypto world today is going to spend 1 hour on your test. And then I just said, wait and see. In the last 20 days, if you go online, there are 65,000 people coming and did the art test. And 65,000 people, that's a huge number. And we aligned our goal of ICD solely with the core blockchain, which is a proof of work. The whole reward system, that our tests get harder each week. Each week, the question gets harder. And this we're on week 3. Not only the question gets harder, we ask people, you have to go to your local museums or gallery to find the art you love and talk about it on social media. And then, just solely this week, 20,000 people go to gallery globally. This is number one, same number I'm talking with you guys. When I talk during TFOF, which is the art fair, I talked with Metropolitan Museums of Art director, Daniel Weiss. He was shocked by this because I think this is a core of decentralization, where an institution without its right authority may not reach to a global audience, all they simply do not care. But in decentralized world, people want to have access to something. You didn't need to lit a match. You just show them that they can, and they will follow and they will do. And for us, we not only show them that they can, we also show them that it's not a transfer of their value. It's not a transfer of their hard-earned dollar. But we believe right now it's the same thing as how Bitcoin was distributed at the very beginning. There's no ICO related with Bitcoin. It's simply a very fun project to do. An early group of community supporters who want to participate, who want to use their laptop to mine a Bitcoin too. That's the same thing what we do for the art blockchain. We want art passionate people who come here and see that they can participate in the art world. And by going to the gallery, by doing the art test, and truly know a project, and then let's just see where the future leads to us. Because with this huge global community we're building, right now we're the top 7 largest the blockchain group on Telegram and keep growing. And I think we together raise a very sounding voice when I talk with the gallery at Auction House that shows them, you guys are marketing to the wrong people. Don't sell the $500 thing to guys who only buy $2 million work. Try to sell the $500 artwork to people who yearn, like who desperately want to hold a piece of art. That's just my piece of thought. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. I just keep thinking about the word disruptive when this guy was talking. He's trying something very innovative, but truly disruptive.
Just a quick mind. I personally like the innovative part of the disruption. Okay. I think it's very hard to kill giants. Even today, because I come from a lot of financial background myself. I studied NYU Stern. Like today, Goldman Sachs, all the players are getting into crypto. Just like how when Robinhood first founded, they all get into Robinhood. I think for us as a blockchain company, one key thing is that we're not here to simply destroy, to disrupt. Mm-hmm. We're here to facilitate, to make the whole system better. The gallery each year, you can only attend to 5 artists. You can make them into stars. Okay, fine. But we can make another 500 artists globally into stars with people believing that artist. So that's, I think, is really a system to improve, not simply a system to destroy. Because you only work with giants. Like David Goliath story, guys, that's only happened in the myth. You call it a myth for a reason. Goliath adapts. And David have to work with Goliath to make the whole story become true.
I'll be very happy to disrupt Wall Street.
Okay, yeah, that's the word I first time actually I heard from Henry. That's the disruptive Wall Street. But before we open up to the audience for some questions.